For the last 15 years, Adam Montiel has been bringing you the stories, the people, and the producers that make wine better and more fun. Whether you're a connoisseur or a cork. Here, we taste it, we spill it, we leave it all on the table. It's The Pour with Adam Montiel.
Welcome back. Taking you on a journey to our recent travels in France over the summer. Had the incredible opportunity to sit down with winemaker Alex Gendrier from Domaine des Huards. Now, it took me, I had to practice just saying that. For some reason, these sounds from the French language are so tough for me. Huards, Huards. Alex even hit me up in WhatsApp.
It's D, like the letter D actually in French, which is a D. D. And Huards, you have 6 letters, but you just pronounce 3. The U, the A, and the R. So R, it's like Huards. R, it's like art, but without the T. And U, it's the French U. U, R. So Domaine, D, Huards. So thank you very much again, and very glad you're working on this podcast. And again, thank you, and hi to Audrey.
Huards. Huards. Right? Poor Alex is listening. He's in Cour-Cheverny right now, just like laughing his ass off. So let me tell you about this place. The estate, it's nestled between the Loire Valley and the Solange region. It's not just about wine and sustainability. Now, this is a story of love, of legacy, of family. Our stay in France, first, we rewind, was nothing short of magical. It was incredible. We stayed at this place called Les Sources de Cheverny. It's a charming, beautiful, relaxing countryside retreat. Perfect before we're about to board the Ama Cristina with Ama Waterways. We had about 4 or 5 days, and we just rented a car from Lyon, drove into Cour-Cheverny, and then just drove back to Lyon. This place has so much to offer. It's an old castle that you can actually stay in. We stayed in the newer units off to the side. There's something about a castle. I just figured, like, the way they built castles, you must hear the people above you walking, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm sure the castle would have been awesome. In fact, we booked it originally for the castle. We were stoked. And then I started, you think you can hear the people above you? Like, you think it creaks? I don't know. So we decided not to do the castle. But place is incredible. Beautiful views. Again, the countryside, our own patio, bikes. You can ride your bikes around. We had our bikes right out in front. It was just incredible. They also have a Michelin-starred restaurant on site. They have also another eatery that's equally fantastic. It's not a Michelin star, but it was just great. Fantastic food. So if you're curious about where exactly it is and what it's about, you want more details on the places where we stayed or tasted, feel free to reach out through adammontiel.com. But because today I'm really focusing on just this one winery that just truly stood out. The people, the wine, the story, all of it exceptional. Domaine des Huards, founded by Pierre Gendrier in 1846, currently operated by the 7th generation of family. Since 1998, they've embraced organic, biodynamic farming, crafted wines that reflect their deep connection to the land there, and the unique terroir of Cour-Cheverny. The winery's crown jewel, this rare and intriguing Romorantin. No, I'm not. Okay, hold on, I'm going to say it again. And I'm not going to edit this. Romorantin. Yeah. I mean, you could say Romorantin, but you kind of want to give it a little bit of its, a little bit of its oomph and gusto, right? I mean, it deserves it. So I feel like I need to put some stank on it. Romorantin. I don't know. This grape has a fascinating history tied to King Francois I, an impressive lineage that continues to shine in their current vintages. There's only like less than a dozen producers out there with this grape, and it's only there now. Cour-Cheverny, which is place Cour-Cheverny, is a hidden gem for wine lovers. We had so much fun there. The village has evolved over centuries, maintaining its agricultural roots, historical charm. Cour-Cheverny, along with the nearby village of Cheverny, forms a distinct wine-growing region that benefits from a mix of clay, sand, limestone soils, which contribute to the complexity of its wines. The commune is known for its Cour-Cheverny AOC, established in 1997, which exclusively uses that Romorantin grape to produce unique, dry white wines. The broader Cheverny AOC, also recognized in 1997, features a blend of Sauvignon Blanc for whites. They do Chardonnay in there. Also Gamay, Pinot Noir for reds. So it was so much fun to meet Paulina and talk to Alex. We had originally planned for just like a short visit, maybe chat with them for like 10 minutes or so, but ended up we stayed for hours. We stayed for hours. It was so much fun hanging out with their wonderful family, the dogs, just walking around, fantastic tour, tasting. This overall experience was just like, I felt like we made new friends. One thing I find interesting, and I talked about this with Alex and Paulina, we were so curious why they don't do wine clubs there. I was just talking to another, who was it? Was that Michael Higgins, that author. I'm going to be having him on the show coming up. We're going to talk Mexican wines. But we were talking about the idea, why don't these places where it's Mexico, France, they don't do wine clubs? And we were talking about this with Alex and Paulina. You know, the wine club, that direct-to-consumer DTC relationship, it is the most valuable relationship that the winery has with its fans, ensuring that steady demand for the product. It's surprising more wineries in this region aren't able or can take advantage of that model. I just don't know enough about it for them to see why. But we were going back and forth, and they seemed really interested in it too. So it seems like a great discussion to continue as to how they can find a way to channel that, especially with people, you know, over here, you know. Domaine des Huards is definitely a winery I want to share, spread the word about. When we talk about the producers here and the vibe here at home, it's all about the people, right? Alex, his wife, their family, and their wine embody that same warmth and passion just so perfectly. So check the show notes for more information on where you can find their wine. Some are available in California on the East Coast. They have places where it's imported. But also, I mean, look, I'm going to put their website out there. You should go visit them. If you're ever over there, you need to visit these folks. They're great. Tell them Adam Montiel sent you. It was also so cool to learn about this Romorantin. I know. Stop it. I'm not even going to say it anymore. To learn about this grape, and we go into how to say it at the beginning of our chat in a second, so it's pretty funny. It's only grown here, and maybe less than, like I said, a dozen folks doing it. So really unforgettable taste into French history. So let's get ready. Let's spill it all right here on the pour with Alex from Domaine des Huards. Thanks for having us here.
You're welcome.
This is pretty cool. Now, one thing that we learned about this area, it's so, first of all, Audrey has loved this area for a long time, so we made a plan to come here. We were just so excited to like kind of soak it all in. But I want to talk about this Romorantin grape first, because we learned about it, and it's only right here.
So yeah, I'm sorry, it's not to correct you, but the right pronunciation.
Romorantin.
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 Ran.
What part was that? Romo?
Romo is good. It's like Tony Romo. I think it was a
No, but
quarterback.
that's too English.
Yeah.
Romorantin. Say it again.
Romo, like Tony Romo.
Romo?
You former quarterback.
Yeah.
Ran.
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 Ah, quite good. Tin.
Tin.
Like Tintin.
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 Romorantin.
Romorantin.
Ratin.
So slowly it's Romorantin.
Romorantin.
It's not easy for you guys. The R. The R thing, eh?
I know. That was because it's so funny. The first time we learned this grape 2 wineries ago, I said it. I put some real stank on it. I gave it some flavor. And she was like, oh, like I said it right. I haven't said it right since then. I have never said it correctly. I said it correctly one time and that was it.
No, I must admit, I think I've never met people in the US who, unless they are really fluent in French.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited to learn the story of this place, but let's talk about this really unique grape because it's only to right here where we are.
Yeah, exactly. It's been here for more than 500 years now. Originally, it comes from Burgundy. And the story says that it's like the influence of the king François I, Francis I, that brought it in because our mother, Louise de Savoie, used to have the castle and owned the castle of Romorantin. So that's where it got the name of Romorantin, which is a city just located 20 minutes south where we are situated. And this is it. And since then, it has disappeared slowly, from Burgundy. And we kept it here. It spread up to the phylloxera crisis, and we almost lost it because it was like a couple of 20 to 30 hectares, and now we're like 70 hectares in total, which is like 150 acres for you. So it's pretty small, it's like the size of a big estate, and we are like a good 10 winemakers and 10 domains working on it.
And what are the characteristics of this grape?
This grape is quite amazing because it is in the youth. When you make wine of it, it tends to be more simple. It's a bit more aromatic, a bit acidic could be too. But on the evolution, everything gets balanced, and it gets very long in mouth. The acidity balanced very well with the nice richness, and it has the taste of honeysuckles, of plums, yellow plums. Also, it can taste le quince.
Yeah.
All those like sugary, fruity tastes, but in the meantime, it's very dry in mouth. So it has the taste of sugar without having residual sugar within it. So it's a lot of sommeliers and a lot of people who are amateur, or even some people who really fall easily in love with it, because you can pair it with many things, like white meat. You can go on fish, of course, seafood, fish, but white meat with salt. We love sauce in France, with butter.
I love that about you.
Or with mustard, mustard sauce, or rabbits with mustard, a good poultry, good chicken, whether it's in sauce or grilled. It's very good with Romorantin, and all the cheeses that we're carrying in France. And also you have very good cheeses in the US. I've tried already, and it goes very well with.
You make it in stainless?
And Mexican food, or like North African food, or even spicy food like from Japan, because the acidity balances very well with the spiciness.
Yeah. You make it in stainless, and how does it age?
So we do make it in stainless steel only. We have other friends who make it in wood, but for us, it makes less sense for now because it's not a known grape. And we want the people to try and to taste it and to experience it at first, like just the truest expression of it, meaning the least impact of the élevage. So to say it otherwise, it's the best translation from the grapes in the vineyard to the glass of wine, with the minimum of interaction from the élevage and stuff. So we just do racking. We control that it doesn't get, oxidized, but we are very low on sulfites. We age it on thin lees, and that's it. And then we do a continuum of aging in bottle. This is very important, which lasts like 2 to 3 more years. So we do sell the wine 3 to 4 years after harvest.
That's interesting about you guys. And when you were talking about the way that you are treating the grapes in the vineyards, that's really a theme for you. I mean, you guys are certified organic, certified biodynamic, and Paulina walked us through some of those, the rows there. Talk about how you do some of these things, because you have the grass in one and the knot in the other, and this really soft, it almost feels like walking on the moon, like this soft, sandy, yet clay silkiness out there.
Yeah, and it's very limestone-ish, or a lot of limestone as a bedrock. The what you say?
Yeah, I picked up a big white rock.
Because it's roche-mer in French, so I always want to say mother rock, It's bedrock in English, right? Yeah. And so you have the limestone, but on top of it, it's a lot of clay with limestone, or sandy with limestone, or just sometimes just part of really sandiness, but the limestone come so it's very funny because it can get, you can think it can get dry, but the roots, once the vine is like, I don't know, 20, 30 more year old, it's very much in wet limestone.
Yeah.
And quite often, even if you have sand sometimes on top of it, you have a layer of clay before the limestone. So then the clay, it's like a blanket.
Like an insulator.
An insulator that keeps the limestone always humid, wet. And then this freshness and this nice acidity, even in our Sauvignon, you just try the Sauvignon.
Yeah.
You see, like Sauvignon, it can be more or less. The Loire it's famous for the quite racy Sauvignon, but here it's even a little bit more thanks to this limestone as a bedrock, sorry, and the fact that the average age of our vineyard is 45 years old. So the eldest being more than 100 years old for some Romorantin.
Wow.
For example, my mother was challenging me, like, you still, because we keep planting, but slowly and slowly. So it's like, don't you have enough? You're always working, you keep planning and stuff like that, which is right. But I was like, yeah, but this new plot that we just got, it looks so amazing that to make wine that will make sense here, it will take at least 20 to 30 years. And this time, you cannot compress it. You can, they can be whatever they want, the new artificial intelligence, you can go, it's still gonna be a lot of time for the root system to go to the bedrock and to give us back this beautiful taste of place that we have here at the Domaine des Huards. And this time, so we're doing it not too much, but just to think of the other generation, like my parents and my grandparents and because I'm the 7th generation on it, right? So just what they did, maybe on a daily basis, they were not always thinking of the new generation, but I just want to continue to do this little path. And for example, it was new Romorantin plot and Pinot Noir. And we do love those grapes very much, and especially on the limestone.
When you come into this, Alex, do you almost feel like it's predestined, like you had to do this? Or did you feel like this is just like, you just felt like a fire inside you, for you think of like all those generations before you? How do you kind of come into this, like in your head and your heart, wondering like, if this is my place or this is my place? How did all that play out?
Yeah, it was a bit of both. I mean, I was very excited. I was like, yeah, I should do it. But in the same time, it took a bit of time. I was a bit scared, to tell you the truth, of the amount of work. And I saw my parents. So that's why I'm thinking, we have 3 children. And I'm thinking of the kids, looking at me, working sometimes like crazy. Yeah. And it's like, is it going to disgust them? I don't know if you can say that in English, but it's like...
yeah, sure, yeah. I get it.
Push them away from doing it. Or one day they're going to understand, and they see the amount of dedication, and then the amount of love also we're giving into it, and that it can pay off eventually. So, but anyway, I think it's always a good example for the kids to see the parents working hard.
How many boys do you have?
We have 2 boys and 1 girl.
Yeah. It could be exciting. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, who knows?
How many brothers do you have?
For sure, you cannot push, because it's the way we're doing it. So again, we're biodynamic. My dad turned everything into in the 90s. He started organic in the 80s.
That was early.
Yeah, early stage from here. Some people a little bit earlier, but
before it was popular, probably.
Exactly. We just we communicate on it, marketing wise. Even though we don't think we're doing very much. I mean, everyone is doing marketing, but we don't pushing marketing. We don't push the stuff, and we're just saying what we do. And we do say it. It's been like just 10 years. For 10 years. Otherwise, we are under biodynamic practices for 30 years. All of the estates and the fields around. So, by the way, this is very interesting because we are working on 85 hectares, so which is like 170 acres. Yeah. Sorry. Part of it is now 45 hectares of vines, so vineyard. And then, so half of it's forests, fields with a specific breed of sheep from here, La Race Solognotte of sheep. And we have pounds and a lake of 3 hectares or so. So we try to have very good biodiversity. We're still working on having a more balanced environment. I think we're quite balanced because we can see it also with the disease. We're almost not bothered with any disease. Then we kind of fight or balance the environment with the decoction, tisane of plants and stuff like that. But also to have forests, to have other insects, to have the vineyard, the vines not that much concentrated. We're like on 4,500 vines per hectare. So you have room for the insects, for the plants, and we have a lot of border, as you saw, with a lot of forests, because here we're in the Sologne, right, and area, and it's a very it's not much just about a vineyard or about crop fields, and it's very balanced. Yeah, and we work on that because we see that it pays off. And again, we try to always think of working on the cause of a problem than the consequence. Because if you're always working on the consequence of a problem, you never solve. And by just acting the way you act, you're going to create new problems. So it's never ending.
That's a great point. Think of the cause of the problem, not just the consequence of it.
Exactly. It's not always easy. Sometimes on the short time, you got
to mitigate and figure it out. Yeah,
exactly. But on the long term, you're really
got to find the cause.
Yeah, and then that's why we have vines that are more than 100-year old. Because they are still there. The only problem that can happen, because we're working everything mechanically, not with chemical products, so it can happen an accident. You take a root of a vine and you destroy your vine, but it's very rare, and we try to keep it this way.
In the world of wine, Alex, I'm curious, what Cheverny, Cour-Cheverny, what is special about this area? You've 7 generations here. What is really the fingerprint of this area?
I think also it's so Cour-Cheverny, obviously is the grape, because it's unique in the world. The only AOC appellation that has this grape is Cour-Cheverny. So this really unique, and when he went almost distinguished, the last plots were around this town of Cour-Cheverny. So that's why he took the name of Cour-Cheverny for Romorantin. Yeah. And Romorantin, we talked about the taste and stuff. It's totally unique. But the Cheverny, what was funny is that Cheverny is at the border, at the edge of the Touraine, which is very famous and known for the Sauvignon, but also, and Sancerre, but also we do have the Chardonnay. We do have those grapes that comes from sometimes more Burgundy regions. And some winemakers do have the Hors, the Menu Pinot. And that's quite unique also to have it here, and that's it. You can have some Chenin technically, but no one has it because it's more complicated here. Chenin, you need more. It gets ripe a little bit later, so you need to be more either south or a bit more closer to the ocean, less continental weather. Yeah. And for the reds, the blend of Pinot Noir and Gamay is also quite unique. And I don't, unless the Bourgogne passe tout grain, which is quite rare nowadays, you don't have it much. So those blendings associated with the type of soils we have here, again, clay, sand, and limestone, makes it unique. Are
you guys all close? You're the vintners here. You guys have collaborations? Are you buddies with a lot of these guys? Or if a pump goes down, another guy's bringing something over. What's the camaraderie with the producers here?
Yeah, on some part of it, yes, but I would say maybe not that much, and maybe less than in other areas of part of France, because here the vineyards are a bit more spread away or more separated. Yeah. Because again, it's not fully covered by vines. For example, our vineyard, we don't have any. I have just one neighbor that I'd never see almost. No, I mean one parcel, one plot that touches another vineyard. Otherwise, it's not that I don't want to see the other guys, but it's because you're working that much, and we created a nice isolated estate. Yeah, we have maybe less interaction, but after you have all the interaction, we are through the appellations. Yeah, and for example, the winemakers were clever enough to gather to do for example, some wine houses, Maison des Vins. Actually, it's a place dedicated to showing the wines of the area, and you can find it and the place of Chambord, the famous castle, and again also in the place of the castle of Cheverny. And this is a joint venture with all the winemakers, the 40 winemakers of this area.
Yeah. When are you coming to California?
Last time was in 2020.
Yeah, cool.
Just before COVID.
Wow.
Yeah, that was very cool. I really enjoyed the vineyard. Actually, one of the sales rep of our distributor, she's in a couple with a man who runs a vineyard in close to I think it's to Santa Cruz. And when you have the big trees up there, very high up, exactly, beautiful. Yeah. It was really. I was amazed by the road. I mean, to drive through the sequoia trees.
Sequoia. Redwoods. Yeah, the big ones.
This is. I mean, France the best. It's I couldn't say less. But I must admit, I said, okay, At least that one thing.
Yeah.
No, this place is beautiful, and it totally changes from the Napa region.
Yes.
And but again, we went through also Sonoma, right, just next to
Sonoma,
Napa.
right, yeah.
And even Sonoma, you don't feel the same energy than in Napa. So I really enjoyed it too.
We got to get you a little south into the Central Coast. It's SoCal, where we have Paso Robles, San Luis Obispo County, Santa Maria, great Pinots and Chardonnays from the Santa Maria.
With freshness?
Yeah, no, and they always get ripe, and they're beautiful. I think you like it.
I know, and I also
he goes with freshness.
In the past, I've been to my parents for me to improve my English when I was young. They threw me, I don't want to say that, but with American host families, just summertime for 15 days or a month. And I've been twice in Washington State, in the north of Seattle, where you have Marysville and stuff. Well, not much vineyard, but I've tasted some vineyard, some from the desert, like, desert area. So, specific, but some climate that were quite, like Oregon style.
Right.
And you get a bit cooler and closer to what we know from a bit Burgundy, even though you have your specific weather, climate, and sense of place. But I do really enjoy also the Pinot from Oregon.
Good. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and Washington
earthy.
State also, I really like on the coast. Part of it is beautiful, and I think the weather can make sense for winemaking.
Well, I can't thank you enough for taking time with us here. It was really fun to meet you and Paulina like before we came on the air, but then to chat with me like this. I know you're both super busy, so thank you very much for hanging out and having us.
And thank you for coming to our place. And if you have some listeners that wanna come also, they are more than welcome.
I'll put links in the show notes. How do you say the name of the domain again?
Domaine de Huards.
Huards.
So it's very French.
Yes.
You do have 6 letters. You just pronounce 3. U-A-R, U-R, U-A-R, U-R, but you write it H-U-A-R-D-S.
Huards.
And so the translation of Huard in English, it's the loon, the bird, the loon. So it's estate of the loon and Domaine de Huards.
Let's bring this all the way back around. Romorantin.
It's very good. Again, it's very good. You need to drink a bit more.
Yes.
Of Romorantin. It's Romorantin. No, but for you guys, it's almost impossible unless you need to practice. But it's the ran. I mean, do you have an English word with the ran like that?
No, we don't roll. We don't roll or growl like that.
You have the Republican Party, but you don't have the ran.
Yeah.
No, I don't try. Anyway, we'll work on it.
Cheers, man. Thanks so much for having us.
Cheers.
All right, thanks to Alex, his lovely wife Paulina, for pouring out your story with us here. Links in the show notes to check them out, Instagram links and all that. You got more from our time in France, too. Excited to bring you some audio from the boat, from the Ama Cristina. We were there with Donnie from Turtle Rock, Kit from Hawks Hill, and Juan Mercado of Rise Wines. Till then, if you could rate, review, subscribe to the podcast. We were trying to get some more momentum. This podcast is listened to in 37 states. Last time we checked, so we got 13 more to go. Up and Adam, all 50 states, Where Wine Takes You, all 50 states, over 100 countries. Speaking of Where Wine Takes You, our last episode, really fun conversation. That's the podcast with our friends at Paso Wine, where it is all wine, all Paso. We talked to the folks of Bella Luna and Clessy. They're neighbors right across Templeton Road from each other. They do some great stuff. Check that show out again. Wherever you're listening to this, you can listen to that, Where Wine Takes You, as well as Up and Adam. Go to adammontiel.com for the latest, all the podcasts, all the things, and to connect. Go to adammontiel.com. You can learn about our breaking and entering Christmas that we do out here. Also, you can reach out. Just click the Connect tab. Well, with that is the last drop for today. I want to thank our friends at Moonshiner Collective for original music on this show called Come Alive. They're performing live November 15th, downtown Slow, the Penny. You can go to moonshinercollective.com for more, for tickets, and make sure you stream them wherever you get your music. Well, we've spilled it all. Till next time, I'm Adam Montiel. Thanks for enjoying The Pour.
It's The Pour with Adam Montiel. You can hear The Pour in its entirety on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, and wherever you get your podcasts. For more, visit adammontiel.com.